Hey you guys, in this video I am going to be tapping and scratching on a new pair of shoes that I purchased from Adidas, and to me these shoes sound amazing with the mic. I hope you love it. I wanted to start off with the bag and the box that they came in because it also sounds quite good. So approximately every year, I purchase a new pair of, usually there's some form of like running shoes. I don't use them for running, I use them for dance classes. But I found that they have like more flexibility, and that's better for me in the dance classes. So, okay, here's the box. Sounds so good. So usually when I get shoes each year, for the last, I would say probably 4 years, I've gotten a pair of Nike shoes that look very similar to these. You'll see on Amazon, and they're usually around anywhere between like $80 to $100-ish, and I use them constantly for a year, and then I just purchase a new set. So that's an expense that I just know I'm going to have each year because I use the shoes a lot and they just like wear down completely. But this year I needed to get my shoes here in Egypt because I'm not going to be visiting the US anytime soon, at least, so I needed to purchase them here, which honestly I can't believe how expensive clothing and shoes are in Egypt. It's unbelievable, especially considering that the amount that people make is so much lower than the amount made in the US, so unbelievable. I had to pay, I think it was $130 US for these, and again, normally it's like 80 would be the lowest, 100 the max. So for the max, for this was the cheapest that I could find of like a good quality shoe that will last like for a year. And like really, I can't get over the amount that people have to pay for these, for the clothing and shoes here. It's outrageous to me. I think most Egyptians would agree though. And I was told that typically you have to be quite careful when you're going to get shoes because there are many fakes out there. And you'll be charged the same amount for the fake brand, and it's not always, I don't know, maybe because I'm a foreigner, everyone was protective, like you're going to get the wrong one for sure. But apparently it's maybe harder to know if it's a real or fake. So I went and purchased these. Again, they look exactly like all my other shoes, but they're just Adidas instead of Nike. So I'm going to take them out and start tapping and scratching on them. Okay, I'll bring the box back later because it sounds so good, but I just want to get into the shoes for you guys. So when I went to the store, I knew that I was going to have some problems trying to find shoes because I've looked in lots of different shoe stores here already over time, and it's just been like they're just way too expensive. And another problem that I have, at least, is that all the women's sizes available in the shops tend to be a lot smaller than my size. I have really big feet. I wear a size 9.5 in US sizing, which I believe is 39.5 in European sizing. And typically they have like lots and lots of 6s and 7s here, 7.5 even, and then it's harder to find 8s, very hard to find 9s, let alone 9.5 for a woman. So I knew that it was going to be a bit more challenging to find shoes here from my previous experiences working in the shops, but a friend of mine told me about outlets here, and you can, honestly the outlet we went to, it was more just like a regular shop, but it was bigger than a standard shop by a bit. Thankfully I did that, went to an outlet shop, and then after searching through the women's section, literally did not have my size almost anywhere. There was like one pair that they did have a 9.5 in for women's, but it was, I don't remember the problem with it. Maybe it was like super expensive or something had been wrong with it, I can't remember. And then after a while searching in the women's section, I was just like, yeah, this is they don't have my size. So I was like, I'm going to the men's section now. So I went over to the men's section and I tried on one of the men's shoes, but they're like, even though like it fit my foot better like lengthwise, it was like I felt like I was wearing like a brick on my shoes, like really wide, and my foot's not very wide, it's like thin, but it's just longer, I don't know. So finally I saw these, and they're made very like more thin, they're not like bulky, and I tried them on and voila, thankfully they fit and I've got them. My friend who went with me, like we thought we were going to have to go to like 6 different shops to even find something, so we actually ended up, once we realized the idea of just going into the men's section, we were able to find shoes in the first shop, so it was perfect. And yeah, like I kid you not, most of the shoes like would be $200 to $300 and often more, which to me, I've never spent that much on a shoe in my life. Like this is literally probably the most I've ever spent on a shoe in my life. 130. It's not even a question to me, like I know that's the most I've ever spent on a shoe. Okay, so the reason that I wanted to get these now as opposed to later is because I have a little bit of an exciting thing to share. Where does this shoelace come out here? Okay. I am going to be traveling to Italy in like 3 days, you guys. If you're on Patreon, you already knew this, probably from videos. But I don't know that I've shared it on the main channel yet, so maybe once, I'm not sure. So I'm going to Italy and I'm so excited. I'm going for 10 days and I will make videos for you guys there per usual. I'm really excited to film in another country because I just really enjoy getting you guys videos from different places. A lot of you express excitement over getting to kind of travel with me, so I'm really excited about that. And I knew that there's a portion of the trip in an area called Cinque Terre, which is in Italian, it's like 5 cities. So it's this area, many of you probably know of it. I didn't know about it prior to this trip, but it's an area where you can go and hike between these 5 cities. It's along the Mediterranean Sea, so you see the sea, it's quite beautiful, and lots of really colourful homes like along the hike. It just seems like really, really fun. And I'm going with one of my family members, and I'm so excited to have time with this family member. And she really likes to hike, so we're going to hike that area. And I knew that I've like pain in one of my toes from kicking it into a chair 7 years ago, trying to make sure a little nugget of mine did not fall down. And I've had that pain ever since. And I get it when I walk for too long. Right now the call to prayer just came on, and I'm just going to leave it for this video. I don't usually, but once in a while I do. In Egypt, the call to prayer goes off 5 times in a day. The name of this particular time is called Maghrib. And so Muslims pray during those 5 times a day. Not all Muslims do pray at those exact times, but many do. So I'll let you hear it in the background a bit. I love this, the tread here, it's really sounding nice. I wore these one time already, and then I cleaned the bottoms so that I could make sounds with them for you guys. I wanted to wear them once before my trip to break them in, make sure that I was comfortable. But because of the toe injury, I knew I needed to get new shoes for hiking. Like, these are not hiking shoes, but I would never actually buy hiking shoes because I don't particularly enjoy hiking. But I love my family members, so I'm going to hike. And this is kind of this is a whole different experience. So I wanted to put my money into shoes for this coming year for dance, and get to use them also, just have more support in a newer shoe as opposed to one that's like really worn down, to support my little toe. It's so funny, you guys. I've talked about my little toe for many years. Like, again, this is 7 years ago, and still to this day I got 2 x-rays done on that little toe, and no one could ever see a problem with it. They're like, oh, looks great. Like, it doesn't feel great, so there's probably something wrong in there. It might, it could have been a little stress fracture, if it was called, that like you just can't see very well in an x-ray, but it never got healed. So I have to wear like really good shoes. I usually wear Dr. Scholl's shoes, and they are awesome. All my boots are Dr. Scholl's, all my sandals are Dr. Scholl's, but Dr. Scholl's I don't think has tennis shoes. Maybe they do. I've looked it up before and haven't found that, but it could have changed. So I just tried to find really sportive tennis shoes. Honestly, I think I'd prefer to hike in my Dr. Scholl's like boots, but it's just not possible because of the terrain, but it'd be better for my toe. Guys, there is a QR code on my shoe, and if you put your phone on it and pull up the QR code, it starts playing running music. It's really cool. It has like a playlist of music. I thought that was quite cute. I don't know, that was really cool. So we're going to go to Florence. We're flying into Florence. I think we're going to be there for two nights. Then we will go on a train from Florence to one of the cities of Cinque Terre. We're staying there in an Airbnb for 2 nights. And then we're going to a place called Turin, Turin. And Turin is a place I had never heard of, but it's kind of on the border between France and Italy. And the reason we're going there is because one of my best friends is in France, the one I have travelled to see twice now and done videos for you in France with. She and her family are going to meet up with us in Turin because they actually moved and they live they live in an area that's about 3 hours from there, and we will be about 3 hours from there, so we're going to meet in the middle in Turin and spend one night together there in an Airbnb with all of us. And I'm so excited because I miss my nuggets so much. I call her twin boys, well, I call all children nuggets, but I call them nuggets very often. I get to see them. I lived with them for 8 months, so I'm in love with them. And she's the one who had the baby girl when I went to France to help when the baby was born. And so I get to see her. She's turning 1. For those of you who have been with the channel for over a year, you probably remember this. She was born when I went to France for that purpose, to help my friend when her baby was born. So she's going to be turning 1. We're going to we're trying to find a little baby Egyptian dress for her birthday. So tomorrow I'll go and get a gift for her and for my friend because her birthday passed and I didn't see her, and then also for the nuggets, the twin boys who I've shared many a story about. Look at this part, it's like super stretchy. That's kind of cool. I like that. These are the shoelaces. I found out in Arabic it's called robot gezm, shoelaces, or is it robot gezma? I think it's, anyway, it's like plural or singular of shoes, but robot gezm, one of those. So on the inside it says Sense Boost Go Adidas, and the inside of the little tongue, as we call it, the tongue of the shoe. I love it. I wore these, like I said, one time. Actually, I put them on right after I purchased them to walk in the area where we were, so I could get them to kind of break in and make sure they don't bother me, and make sure that I get them, because you don't want to get rubbing parts on your heel that are not used to it in a hike when you're wanting to be comfortable. But I had no problems with it. It didn't make me uncomfortable at all, so I don't feel like I need to walk in them a ton before going to break them in there. It's super soft here, and it felt like I was walking on a cloud. I've never had that with a tennis shoe, and this part has some sort of technology, because it literally felt like I was floating on every step. Okay, let's tie this little shoelace. Robot gezma. Forgive me if I'm saying the wrong one. Robot gezma. Sounds like robot, but it's not. Robot. Okay, I'm just going to get the box and place these on the box. Okay, I want you to hear the box a little bit more, but I didn't want to spend too long on it before getting to the shoes. I've never been to Italy before. Typically, I'm not super excited about traveling to Europe. I really get excited for Asian and Middle Eastern countries for some weird reason. I don't know, that's just my thing. So I've never really had an interest, but I am Italian and have never been to Italy, and that's what inspired the trip. I want to see how my tribe functions in real life. I think I have shared this on Patreon recently, but if you don't know what Patreon is, I'm sorry, I need to remember to talk about it when I explain what it is. Patreon is a place where you can support the channel and get little rewards. For example, exclusive videos, and I do behind the scenes videos. For some reason I show you a lot of my food, things like that. There may or may not be a good amount of dog videos, puppy videos around the area. There's cute puppies next to me. And yeah, so there's always a link for Patreon in the description box of all of my videos. I love to get to know you guys better there. And yeah, it's just a good way we can chat a bit more through the app basically. So that's Patreon. So yes, I put a video on there and I shared a bit about this, but I'll share again here now because the trip is coming and I want to prepare you for some videos from Italy. So I'm Italian, but I've never been to Italy, and growing up I did not grow up around other Italian families. It was just my family, and I did not realise that all the attributes my family had were attributed to Italian culture. I just thought, this is my family. There's no one around me to say, oh, there's another Italian family that's like mine and we're different from all the others. Therefore, this is Italian culture. I had no idea. I was much older when I realised that, and it was because I was watching The Cake Boss, which is a show based on an Italian family living in New Jersey that has a cake business. And I was watching seasons of this show and I was like, this is just like my family. And it occurred to me, oh my gosh, we're extremely Italian even though we've never lived in Italy. We've carried on the culture quite strong without ever having lived there. Me, that side of the family, my great-grandparents are the ones who lived in Italy. So it's lots of generations, but boy, did we hold on to that culture. So I think it would be quite funny to see other people like me. And you know what? Honestly, Egyptian culture, Middle Eastern cultures sometimes are quite similar to an Italian culture, I think, and quite very passionate, loud, aggressive people. and also very romantic. Egyptians are very romantic too. Strong. We talk with our hands, as you guys know. Lot of exaggeration. I try to steer clear of that because that's just annoying to me sometimes. But really, it's everything's well, you've seen this in me. Everything's I get excited for every video. When I start, I'm I'm so excited for this video. That's Italian. I just didn't know it until I watched The Cake Boss. It's a bit hard to see, but there's these little lines along here, and they make a really interesting sound. Feels like this. Yeah, it just has a really nice bass, very lightweight. feels like you're walking on a cloud. This is a really strong material. You can hear the texture to it, and then it's very soft in here. I love the ridges of the fabric here. And this bit, I don't know if you've heard it, it's kind of got that squeaky scratch to it. And then that's the thing that I love about shoe videos. Shoes have lots of different types of materials on them, so you just get lots of different sounds. I want you to see these lines, just the tiniest of ridges that go all along here. You can hear it. Did you guys see my nails? The little bats. I love this set. I actually did wear these last year too. They're kiss nails. And sometimes if you purchase kiss nails, you can actually get 2 sets of nails out of the one package, because they usually come with 28 nails. And of course, you only need 10 for one set. If you can find another 10 that fit the nail beds for you, you can actually get a second set. So I saved them for this year because I really like them. This is my favourite nail though. I love that. Second favourite, obviously. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed. The sound of these shoes. There's a no talking version if you'd like to check that out. It's already up on the channel, and I'll put a link to that for you guys. So thank you for everything, and I hope you get excited for videos in Italy, and I love and appreciate you guys very, very much.